So right now we're doing an installation at one of the most top value neighborhoods ever. It's incredible. I was talking to my mentor. I said, these architectures, they're good. They're not too expensive. They're pretty good. And, you know, they get the job done. And he says, yeah, I know. And I was like, Anyway, so that's what we've been working on. Today we're going on a new job site, though. I'm interested to see what the value of that is. We are the leading company for this island. And, you know, I don't even know what I'm doing. But, I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's so easy. It's not easy, I'm gonna tell you what. It's not easy at all, but I'm gonna tell you what. It's so easy that all you gotta do is look at it. You know how easy that is? So, that's what I tell everyone is, you're so stupid because you're stupid. Nothing you can do about that. I also tell people this, I said, you can't get any smarter than what you are. I said, you're born smart, and that's all the smartness you're gonna get. You're not gonna ever be smarter than that. Doesn't matter how many books you read, doesn't matter what you learn, you will never get any smarter. No. I was talking to my mentor. My mentor says to me, not everybody, you know, we're not all you, we're not all super smart like you. I turned to him and I said to him, look, I'm only smart in school, okay? Most people are smarter than me. To tell you the truth. And he's like, yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure you knew that. And I was like, yeah, because I'm so dumb in general, but in school, I'm the smartest one. So what happens when you take the smartest one in school and put him outside, or take him out of school? Because, you know, because of my genetics. You know what happens? Kellogg's happens. Now, does that surprise me? No, I was telling everybody that. I was letting them all know how stupid they are. Because I'm smart in school, so take what's smart in school, send them outside and see what happens. It's not a business. It's not that I'm going to make any money. You think that somebody who's smart in school is going to go out there and make money? No. This is how someone who's smart in school makes money. Let me tell you. They stay in school, and then they graduate, and they get a real job. You see how simple that is? So when I put in all those hours, I never clocked out. I was always studying, always. Because that's what I am. I'm the head. Not because I want to be ahead, just because if I'm not on top of my homework, then I have shit to do. You see how common sense that is? Now let me tell you what, if I don't have a perfect score on my exams, don't you think that might bother me? Because I did less, because I got something wrong. Don't you think that getting something wrong would bother you? Because you get it wrong. That doesn't bother you? You don't want to know why? You don't want to know why you got that question wrong? Because then next time you won't know. Next time you'll know why. So anyway, everybody is so stupid because all they know is life. I don't know life. I said, that's your life. That's not my life. You can't go around telling people how to run their life. I say, look, I exist. You exist. Now, I don't really give a shit about you. You don't exist to me. Because I'm looking at these textbooks. I'm looking at my computer. I'm looking at the chalkboard. So, in what situations would people exist to me? Let me tell you what those situations are. They exist to me writing on the chalkboard. They exist to me as Barbie girls in the lunchroom or whatever. They exist to me in an office. You know, maybe we're sitting there or sitting around a table. They exist to me when they're my mentors. when I have, when there's a reason for me to be around them, basically. Like a real valid reason. Not something bullshit. Not because I have to. What do I have to do? Nothing. If I have to question what I'm doing, then I must not be in the right place. So. You have to get a lot done in a very short amount of time. And that really is the secret to success, no matter what you do. Now, if I'm going over, like a barista, for example, if I'm doing a barista, not like, if I'm being a barista, and, one would say to get it done as fast as possible, but one could also say to craft it to perfection. And as Starbucks taught me, doesn't matter if you do it 5 times or 1 time. I want to see perfection. So I says, that's great. Now Starbucks no longer has that respect as of 2020. I won't go into why, but basically it's the employees' fault. They lost what Starbucks was. A study place. A place to do my homework non-stop, all day. Because where else am I going to do homework all day with Wi-Fi? And that's where I began my grant proposal, to tell you the truth. Starbucks. So anyway, that's some bullshit now. Moving on. If I was going in a museum, do you think that I would learn anything if I just went to get it done as fast as possible? I'll only put another scenario for you. Now let's say you have a bunch of people living off of our wages, off of who we are, off of Kellogg's. And they're making all this money off of Kellogg's, and they're just enjoying their pretty little lives, sitting there at their little resorts, in their little rentals, living their free life, just because they're lawyers or some bullshit. You think Kellogg's needs lawyers? No. As I said in one of my previous videos, I said, those are books. You wrote those books. You can write them again. You can write next year's books. All those stupid little lawyers don't mean shit. And I also said, those doctors, you know how many people are doctors all over the world? Let me tell you something else. You know how many people want to be doctors? You know how many people get paid to be doctors? So pay them to become doctors. Here's what I said to everybody, and I said to the stupids. I said, how dare you make education harder than it already is? You think I gotta worry about a job while I'm getting educated? No, I should be focusing on my education. Now, all the losers don't seem to agree because they're losers, because they don't want a degree, because they don't need a degree, because they're losers. So I said to all the losers, I said, stop being in my way. Just get out of my way. Hand it over. Whatever you got, it's mine now. I walked up to that little girl, I said, give me your money. It's mine now. And that's pretty much all that I can do now, is basically, unless I'm working, I'm just going to destroy everything. Everything, always. I said this to everybody. I said, I will ruin everything until I get what I want. Until I'm supposed to be where I am. Now, does that mean I go around calling people names or being mean to them? No way. No way. But if there's employees not doing their jobs correctly, or they seem to take me the wrong way, you best believe I'm not talking to the individuals, but I'm talking to those employees. I say, I see you, and I hope to never see you again. Now, if I saw that employee when they're not working, when they clocked out, I would never have that sort of interaction. In fact, I would say, why are you talking to me? You don't exist to me. Go away. Or I might say hello. Or not. Usually, somewhere in the don't talk to me. Now, if an employee talks to me, all of a sudden, hey, how you doing? Because, I need something from the employee. I said, I need my coffee. The employee says, well, it costs $2. And I say, great, thank you. And the employee is paid to do that script. I'm not paid to do that script, but the employee is. So I can say whatever I want. I can say, give me my fucking coffee right now. And they have to. You think I gotta be nice? No, this is America. America was not built off nice. America was built. Period. I was telling my mentor this. I said, I like to be this way because that way, when I see people's reactions, I like to know if I'm still in America or not. And he laughs too, because it's true. An American will never take things personally. An American has a standard of intelligence. So, all of these people who are either too young or too old or too foreign, they're usually stupid. Because they're too old, or they're too young, or they're too foreign. Now, what makes an American great is that an American can do whatever he wants, whatever she wants, and there's nothing really you can do about it. And that's why everyone wants to be an American. Now, when you have Kellogg's, and you have Kellogg's American, then that's basically the most money you can make. It's not about making money. And it's not in the neighborhoods. You don't make money in the neighborhoods or the houses. You make money in what you do for work. And the best secret, I'll tell you the secret. You can read all the books you want, but I say, give it up. I say, here's the secret. If you want to make the most amount of money in your lifetime, do as many jobs as possible at once, all the time. I want you to think about what that means. And then I want you to think about politics. And I want you to think about your time. And I also want to think about, then after that, your neighborhood. So you leave your house, you go to work, you go back to your house. How much money did you really make? I was taken on a tour. I want to tell you about it. I think you guys will be pretty excited. The tour was pretty awesome. I was going through these neighborhoods. They were showing me, here's the changes we've made. Do you like the changes? I said yes, I do like the changes. And I'm going to tell you why. Well, here's what I saw. I was driving past in one of the neighborhoods, and this is one of the top tier neighborhoods ever. But it used to not be. It only used to not be because of the people that lived there. So they did what common sense normally does. And it says, you're not using that, I'm going to use that. You're in my way, I don't think so. You are not good enough, I am. So with those 3 steps, well, all of a sudden, it went from one day to the next day, where one zip code, same zip code became a different, same neighborhood became a different residential. I'm going to tell you and explain to you what a residential is. A residential is basically a, what do you call it? A width. It's basically the width of your stock. Now, stock is not in terms of necessarily what you call stock, but I mean literal stock. So I said, and I don't know if it was this video or another video, but I'm going to say it again. I said, you want to do as many jobs as possible at the same time. Now, the only way to do that, I'm going to tell you the secret, organize. It's not organized people, but it's literally organized people. But not like really organizing people, but like you want to organize everything. But not like everything where you're wasting your time, but like you want to know everything about everything and have it organized. I think that's the best way to put it. Because if you know everything about everything and you have it organized, then it really is that easy. Where you're making money because you have everything organized. Because if you can see the missing pieces or the missing gaps, then you can fill that in. So what stock really is when you filled everything in, and that stock becomes a block. Now, once you have a block, I'm not talking about like a neighborhood. I'm talking about once you have an actual block where there's no holes, there's no gaps, there's no nothing. You can look at your block and you can say, well, you don't just ask what is your block worth. You know what it's worth. You look at your block and you say, what is the material made out of? Truly, what is it really made out of? And it will prove to you what it's made out of, because all you have to do is give it an assignment. You say, okay, this block, I'm going to set it right there. And you can even set it on a zip code. You can say, we all have the same map, right? So no one's going to go anywhere. It's the same map. That's all we got. We get one map, that's it. There's not like some imaginary world. There's not like some, like second map. There's just one map. Everybody has it, the same map. So you can take your block and you can just put it wherever you want, anytime. And people are so losers, they don't know that. So Kellogg's, that's why they make all the money. Because basically Kellogg's is when you take the flag, and it's not a block, but it's just cloth, and you wrap up everything in this cloth, and you say, do you understand what we do for a living? And the losers just look at you. Those that understand, we just lower our heads and we're like, yeah. And that's it. So it doesn't matter if you exist or if you don't exist. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you won't even know the difference. One day you'll exist and the next day you won't exist. Let me tell you something else. If you exist, you probably exist in one of these blocks. Whether you know that or not. Because everything is organized. And it's not about you having to organize to get things done. It's that it's already done. It's already put together. It's already organized. So, driving through this neighborhood, there's guys, I'm not driving, but tour bus, taking me on a neighborhood tour. And we were rolling through, and there's a clipboard guy. And I looked at his face, I saw his clipboard, and I gotta say, I was so happy to see that level of organization. Not an organization like a company, but like that level, that quality of organizing skills. To the point I was so happy about that, what's the word? Well, his face said it all too, how organized he was. But what's the word? I was talking about how to cut it because of the non-disclosure agreement. But basically, I was talking about organization.
Stop. Next stop, Four Seasons Airport, Target.
Something about organizing. It says a lot about the block itself. So if you take a block, like a business, and you set that business anywhere in the world, it will succeed in whatever it attempts to do, because it's so organized. So that's really the best way to make the most amount of money. It's not necessarily about the company you work for, and it's not even about your education. But as you're looking at enrollment into our program, it's really about, how fast can you get things done. So at the end of the day, everything will always be connected. But you always want to be connected not to the companies you work for, but to your blocks. You want to be connected not necessarily to your neighbors, but you want to be connected. You want to understand what block you belong to, and what is it about your life that somebody would organize about it, so that you're always one step ahead, and that way you can anticipate and not get, replaced or anything. Because sometimes, even in our programs, we only have so many seats. So the best business, I'm going to tell you one more time, the best business, I'm going to tell you this over and over again, the best business you could get into is Kellogg's. Just plain blank. Because if you're not willing to do what it takes to tell the truth, to get whatever it is needs to be done, and to know the difference between this and that, if you can't do those three things, I don't know how you're going to work anywhere other than, like, loser jobs, to tell you the truth. And that's why we get to do whatever we want. And we can say whatever we want. And we can look at you however way we want to look at you. Because we look at you with nothing but, but at the same time, when we go to stay at a hotel, or we're going to order our food, or when we go to do anything, like in civilian world, we're super nice, but that's just because we're paid, not because we have to be nice. And to tell you the truth, you're paid to be nice. Every single employee is paid to be nice. So if we're not nice, you're still paid to be nice, because once again, we're not paid. We are paying. But even if we weren't paying, it's the employees getting paid. So even if we're outside and we're not coming in, if we're not allowed to come in, or whatever it may be, or, it doesn't even matter, all of a sudden, there's a huge, huge problem. And that's the problem with businesses, is you really can't have businesses go head to head, or toe to toe, or even against each other. You can't be rivals as businesses. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we will destroy you. So, I always tell everybody, I say to them, in America, we are in one company. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, doesn't matter what business you're in, doesn't matter what sort of things you want to do. In America, you're in, or in life, you're in America. So, I always say, America pretty much is Kellogg's. So, I was talking to my recruiter, I was like, I don't understand why you're wasting my time. I don't get it. I'm not supposed to be with these civilians. He says to me, unless you can chill, then I don't think we can chill with you. I said to him, I don't want to chill with you. I don't even want to look at you. But I don't mind looking at him. He's nice and everything. It just doesn't make any sense. Maybe we, do work together, but it just wouldn't make any sense for me to be chill. That would be like a lie. Now, if I'm happy and I'm chilling, that's the truth. There's no lie there. But what he was asking me to do was he was asking me to be chill when I have a job to do. And I just don't get it. So he's like, you don't like the way we run our communities? I said, no, because all you do is spread lies about me. All you do is call me an enemy. How am I supposed to be chill with that? I don't get it. So anyway, So if you want to make the most amount of money, I'm going to tell you the secret. First, get into the military. Just figure it out. You know, even if you have to take over a whole neighborhood, even if you have to, like, destroy schools, even if you have to build a private prison, just like me, even if you have to just, you know, whatever, do it immediately. Because whether you're in this country or another country or in one zip code or another zip code, if they're not letting you in the military, that's a huge problem. Because the military is supposed to feed everybody, A. The military is supposed to have a job for everybody, B. And the military is supposed to have enough clothes for everybody, C. And the military is supposed to be awesome for everybody, D. And the military is supposed to give cool toys and all our amendments to everybody, E. So, once again, I was talking to my recruiter, I said, are you still wasting my time? He says to me, yeah. I said to him, why am I here again? He says, to waste your time. I said, okay. So anyway, it's not that the military is stupid, it's that the military is always replaced by intelligence. So no matter how you get into the military, that's your first mission, is to get into the military. It doesn't matter if you walk into the office or if you just do it on your own. You know, and that's actually in the Constitution. There is no military in the Constitution. It's the militia that's in the Constitution. I want to make sure you know that. And if you haven't read the Constitution, make sure you go and read the Constitution. I might make a video on that just to make sure you read. Because if you don't want to read, no big deal, you can just watch my videos. Make sure everything is to the point. I'll tell you all about it. Basically, we should have all that shit just given to us. And if it's not given to us, go and take it. You know, if you have to buy it, okay, whatever. If you don't and you can just take it, just take it. You know, it just doesn't matter, just take it. Because it's in the Constitution. Nobody asks how you got it. Nobody asks how you made your money. Nobody asks you any questions unless they're one of our agencies. In which case, you know. And that's what I'm saying. You know, you could try to get complicated about it. You could try to, you know, become a lawyer, or you can try to find a lawyer. You could demand for a lawyer. You don't really need a lawyer. But in fact, sometimes they don't even let you bring in a lawyer. So, you know, it really just comes down to the fact that you just gotta keep running and don't stop running until you have what you want. You know, it doesn't matter what country you're from, just keep running. And it doesn't matter who you have to destroy, just keep going. Just don't look back. That's all I gotta say. That just slows you down. You don't want to slow down. So anyway, oh, and also don't second guess yourself either. You know, there's a bunch of losers that will try to derail you, or that will try to follow the same advice, but it's because they're losers means they won't be good enough, and they won't be as good as you. So just step on them, destroy them. Don't even say you're sorry. And that's what the military is about. You know, it's not competition. It's run as fast as you can and don't worry about it. Anyway, but if you really want to make money, try your best to get into the military. Because then after the military, then you have something reliable. And if you don't have anything other than, you know, who you are, then try to be as organized as possible. And try to get one of those blocks I'm talking about. So I'm going to tell you the secret to a block. You can take that simple You can go to prison. You can go door to door. However you want to do it. First thing you want to do is find as many Kellogg's as you possibly can and bring them all together and tell them, alright, we're going to take over a block. And you got to do that. But if you do that, you got to run right after and not talk to anybody ever again. And then do it over and over and over again. Don't talk to nobody after you get it done. Do that over and over again until you get so good at talking that you could be talking about French fries or you could be talking about your block. Doesn't matter. If you can get that done, then you will be successful no matter what. So I'm going to tell you why. The first thing that they taught me is don't get caught. Now, what I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't do wrong so that I don't have to worry about getting caught. That was my advice. Don't do wrong. But the advice that was given to me was don't get caught. And also, I don't want to know about it. Me, I don't want to know about it either. But for me, I was like, don't do wrong. Sort of. Anyway. But that's the secret to success. You know, it's don't be afraid. Run as fast as you can. And, you know, it's the secret. Because, I'm going to tell you why. Everybody sticks together. They clump up, and they never give each other up. So, what your approach has to be is to look at everybody as hostile. Doesn't matter if they're in your city, in your country, or your next door neighbor. You have to look at everybody like they're hostile. I'm going to tell you why. Because everybody that does wrong, they do wrong together. I'm going to tell you why. Because people are losers and they're stupid. So, here's what you got to do. Look at the clothes they're wearing. Look at what they look like. Look at where their families are from. Look at who and how they act. Look at the money that they, basically look at everything. And as an American, make sure that you're on top of all of that. I think that pretty much covers it. Oh yeah, Barbie Girl today said, I'm gonna go hang out with the white people now. And that's because, this is why she said that. And this is why I don't hang out with white people. And people that are basically white. And this is why. Because everybody from another country is a loser. Just point blank, a loser. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because they won't take care of their shit. They come to our country, making money in our country, doing the same shit they do in their country, and then they get away with it because they're good at it, and then it just doesn't and then they wear their little clothes, making their little songs, making their movies, doing whatever they want to do, and what they don't realize is that they're taking up our zip codes, taking up our polis, just taking up our people, our girls, our Barbies. Now, I said to them, unless you do something about this military, then, there's nothing that's gonna be working out over there in these zip codes. Because I don't like them whatsoever. I really don't. So anyway, my friend went out there, did something about it, came back, and, that's pretty much the secret, is anytime you have a bunch of friends a bunch of people that are friends, is first, destroy them immediately. Because friends stick together. And you don't want that. You want every single man for himself. And I'm going to tell you why. That way, he'll give up the next guy. And I'm going to tell you why that's important. Every single person that you can get to give up the next guy, or to just give up everybody, or to just like take the job for themselves, that's the true military. That's the real military. But if you have these other people that are gluing together because they're family, and they won't give each other up because they're family or friends or whatever, destroy them. That's not good. You don't want that in your country. In your country, you want every single person in it for themselves. Then you know you're on trusted soil. Because that's the only way. Otherwise, you have people running all sorts of schemes under the ground, and are being all sorts of stupid and all sorts of losers. So the secret to Kellogg's is, first, be everyone's friend by being no one's friend. Second, be good at everything so that you can do anything, anytime. Third, show up to work on time. Fourth, let everyone know your Kellogg's is the literal fourth. Like, right off the bat, just let them know. So that they know your value. Fifth, don't settle for anything less. If someone doesn't know who you are and they're trying to give you less, show them why they're so stupid. And do it in the most beautiful, showy, extravagant way possible. That way, they'll understand what America means. And they'll stop being losers. Because you know how much we hate losers? We hate losers so much that we don't even think about them. They don't exist to us. So if a loser walks into our restaurant, or if a loser just so happens to exist, we don't know about it. We don't know about losers. Only losers know about losers. And a whole family bunch of losers, you think that means anything? Nope. You could even have a whole community full of losers. And I told them this. I said, unless you stop being stupid and give me what I want. And what did I want? I wanted my education. I wanted to go to school. Was that so hard? I had to do all this just to go to school. You think I care about a job? No, I care about school. Anyway, and it's not just me. It is just me. But if I get to have school, I feel like everybody should have school. And if you can't afford school for every person, then you can't afford your houses. You can't afford your safety. You can't afford even Kellogg's on the table. That's how for serious we are. If you can't pay for our education, not even, if you can't give us our education, why should we even show up? Like, what do we gotta be nice for? If I have to be hungry every day, what do I gotta be nice for? I had to ask Barbie girl for $10. You know how ridiculous that is? I was even like, you want an iPad? She was like, no, I don't want an iPad. And it's just like... Anyway. In the beginning, it was about the program, which I mentioned in video 1. But in this last, at the very end, it became about education. And to tell you the truth, those that are educated, they don't commit, they don't commit the atrocities, or I guess, I mean, that's not the right word, they don't, violate, but that's not true necessarily, because we've seen all sorts of intelligent, educated people commit all sorts of violations and do all sorts of terrible things. So But what I mean to say is that those that are educated, truly, if you're truly educated, then you will have learned. And if you have learned, then you won't do wrong. You won't do those wrong things. Not out of fear, out of love. It could be fear, but usually out of love and common sense. So, if you don't want any problems in America or in the world, and it's not that there's not going to be any problems, but if you don't want, worse, because we're just going to make things better. Because that's what education does. Education says we'll make things better by educating you, giving you better jobs, improving your time. Then the whole world will be better off each and every day. So, it began with safety and it ended with education. But it takes education to know and reach safety. Because you have to know what you're doing. So if the world is unsafe, and then there must not be education. It doesn't matter if the world calls itself educated. If the world is not safe, then there is no education. So the secret to safety is education. And it's not YouTube videos, and it's not PSAs, it's degrees. It's, everything. So, I always say, it's not about the restaurant. Who cares about the restaurant? But it's really about your whole life. It's what do you want for your whole life? And let's make that happen. For everybody. Because that doesn't seem that hard. It's one planet, one life. Where are we gonna go? What do we gotta do? It's not about the products. We've already got the products. It's about the jobs. What are each and every person, what are they going to do with their time? And what do they want to do in their whole life? Not bucket lists, but as a whole. What do they want to do with their lives? And that's what the military is about. I say, first go to the military so that at least you're in the right country. And then let's talk about what you want to do with your whole life. So that's why my recruiter was like, I think you can do a better job at this than I can. I said to him, I'm not about to do your job. I'm not about to wear no flip-flops. I'm not about to do any of that. But what I can do is I can explain real quick what I saw, what I heard, without talking too much about it, and just to record and document that it did happen, but that we don't care. Nobody cares. And that's good, because you don't want people caring too much, it just gets in the way. So, and that's what politics, I was talking to my mentor, I said, it's really just politics. And politics is really quite like that, is you really don't want to care too much at all, really. You don't want to care at all. But you want to kind of, just do your job. But you also want to not do anything you don't want to do. So, Kellogg's is also about that. Is that we don't do anything we don't want to do. We love doing what we do. So, that's why I told my recruiter, I said, you can't make a loser into not a loser. Because they're a loser. You can't, you're just going to create something that's stupid and more of a loser. So, you know, Kellogg's is at birth, really. And there's all sorts of ways to make Kellogg's, but that's why we don't make Kellogg's officially. And we don't make Kellogg's unofficially either. But Kellogg's, you know, just has a way of happening. And I guess that's kind of like the agencies. You know, the agencies really are invested in Kellogg's. And they learn the same things we've learned, you know. People told the agencies, they said, just don't get caught. You know, because that would be a huge liability for the United States. The agencies were like, no worries. We've got that situated. Because that's what the agencies are. Unfortunately, for the rest of the citizens of America, what are we supposed to do with that? And that's really why we join the military, is because we don't want to have to worry about the agencies. Because the agencies are scarier than anybody else, I'm going to tell you that right now. Because before you know it, the agencies are in your house. You know, the agencies are coming from Russia or from, you know, some other parts. You never know. That's the thing about the agencies. Anyway, this isn't a lesson, but it's just, and it's not to scare anybody, it's just the truth. Like, you never really know anything. So it's best to go to school. And if you're not in school, why? Why aren't you in school? Go to school. If you're not in the military, why? Why aren't you in the military? Go to the military. I mean, how do I explain this? You know, that's it. You know, you go to school, go to the military, you join an agency. Like, if you don't have those three things, then I don't understand. This is why I get so mad at civilians. This is why. And then they look at me like I'm stupid. They look at me, they don't understand me. Because they're stupid. Because they haven't followed the three basic jobs of an American citizen. It's first, go to school. Second, go to the military. Third, join the agency. Whatever agency you want, join it. I don't get it, you know, I really don't get it. So, anyway, just driving that home. Anybody tells you that you can't live your dream, hopefully it's a practical dream. Like, I want to make airplanes. That's pretty practical. Somebody says they want to be a rapper or a music artist. Okay, go right ahead. But I'm going to tell you what, before you do something stupid, do something smart first. Go be an engineer. Go be something like me. Don't go be stupid and just like be an artist. Do you think we care about artists? No. You think we care about music? No. You think we care about any of that bullshit? We don't care about it whatsoever. I'm gonna say something else. You think we care about teachers? No. You think we need teachers? No. You think we need anybody telling us anything? No. You think we don't already know how to be and how to live and how to do life? So, I'm gonna tell you what, all this bullshit job, you wanna know what some real jobs are? Some real jobs. It's pretty simple. Who's handing you your food? Who's driving your car? Who's teaching you shit that you need to learn? Even if there was no one teaching you shit, you'd probably be able to figure it out. But if you can't, like me, I can't figure shit out, then you go to school, they teach you, or whatever. So, that's why I always say, go to school, go to the military, join an agency. that way, I don't have people closing McDonald's on me, telling me I can't come in. And that way, I don't have people, like, I just can't stand, I just can't stand it. I just can't. I really can't. I don't have people talking about me. I don't have people, like, calling people on me. Like, what? Like, who are you calling? You're gonna waste more of my days with your little community? I don't think so. I told my mentor this. I said, I'm trying to get out of this community, like, immediately. Now, luckily, the bus probably has become the best part, but it wasn't that way. I made a complaint, and now the bus is really nice again. No. As for the rest of it, I look, I'm walking the same place, walking there, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. But then I ran into Barbie Girl, who I haven't seen in a long time, or whom I haven't seen in a long time, and that was pretty cool. But do you think I give a shit? No, I don't. You want to know what I want to see? Walking down that street, I don't want to see nobody. Nobody. I don't see nobody. So, take that how you want, but I think that's high value. I think first you start with nobody. Look at a whole like state, for example. Let's look at the whole state. And let's say start with nobody, and then start bringing people in, and you decide who do you want there. That way the most amount of money you can make is with nobody, and then you bring in who you want and make more money. That's what I want to see, because I'm pissed. Anyway, that's the secret to success also, is be Kellogg's. And what else? Oh, and don't be civilian. Oh, but if you are not civilian, then don't leave your home. Go do your job. But, if you are doing your job and you're an employee, and you're the same employees, as the agency, and you're following my rules, but then you're always following my rules, so nothing really they can do about it, then literally it comes back to these offices. The office won't talk to me, and I'm supposedly the other side, and all this other stuff, because they followed the rules, and they're doing everything I told them to do. But what is each and every day really like? And I always tell them, I say, I shouldn't be here. So, usually that means I go on tour or something, but not music. It's ridiculous. Go on tour, like, do what I do best. Alright, they were asking me exactly how I make my money before I go on, how I make money. And I said to them, well, first I say, where can I get the most amount of work done as fast as possible? And then I figure out where those places are. And then I think, alright, well, just do that then. So usually the distance between doing that and knowing those places, there's rivalry, and also a lot of a process. Like, can you even afford it? A lot of, and that's what I always say about the agency. I say, how stupid are you? Like, seriously, how stupid are you? So, I always say this. I always say, once something is built, it's built. It's already paid for. Once something is made, it's made. It's already paid for. And I also talk about follow-on equity offering. And a follow-on equity offering is basically all you ever need to do. So that's why you really can't expect the individual to take a job. You can't expect the individual to make any money at all. They always say, how do I make my money? I say, I make my money going where I'm told to go, doing what I'm told to do. And it's not some bullshit. So they always say, how do you make your money? I say, well, first I go to school. Then I get a job that I learned, that I get through school. And then I do whatever I want. So I don't understand why I don't have any money. And I don't understand why anybody would be struggling for money. I just don't get it. Because you look at the military, you look at the agencies, and I'm looking at everybody just like screwing each other. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, why is everyone still so stupid? Why? And, it's really because of parents. So all you have to do is destroy everything. Always. And then you look and you say, okay. And you keep going. You keep going. So, that's what the military and the agencies are supposed to do. The military is supposed to go around destroying everything. Agencies are supposed to go around destroying everything. And the only ones that are left behind are the employees. So, as an employee of a company that hires me to do a job, why am I doing, I don't get it. What job should be handed to me? So, and what job do I want? I want to be an engineer. So I feel like my job is in the right direction. But why am I wasting my time? I should be in school, learning how to do learning my education. But then I thought, well, but if I do school at the right place, then I could make more money. Following my own, stacking everything. Now, the only way to do that is to be in the right, place at the right time, doing my job. So, that makes sense. But once again, I don't understand why it takes so long. You know, I started this campaign when I was in 2020, and now it's 2 years later. I just don't get it. I told my recruiter, I said, I don't got time for this. I really don't. I don't got time. So, they asked me, what's the secret to success? Or how do you make your money? And I say, basically, I just take whatever job they give me, and I make the money that comes with the job. I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. You know, I'm trying to go to school, but, you know, I don't got time. I don't even have any money. I don't even have any food. So, anyway, my job is like, I don't get it. It's a great job, but I don't have any money. I don't have any food. If I was in school, I wouldn't be worried about money, and I would have food. So I'm just like, I didn't mess up. I didn't mess up whatsoever, but the country messed up. The country messed up big time. So that's why people ask me, how do I make my money? And I say, I make my money by being pissed at this point. Like, that's how I make my real money, is with just anger and whatnot. So, I don't know. I would say to join the agency, join the military, and do something that you love. For me, that requires school. For you, it probably doesn't. But, I don't know, for me it does. So, I'm hoping that eventually I get to school. And I think the fastest way is to take the school. And it's not that hard. First, you find out everybody that's applying to school. You say, here's everybody that's going to school. And you say, okay. And you apply with them. But you don't have to apply, because they're all going to school. So you just go with them. And you don't even have to go to class. You just go to class with them. So you could have class anywhere. You could have teachers from anywhere. But the point is that you're in school. And you walk out with a degree. That's a real degree. So it's foolproof, you know. If nobody's, you know, listening, just do it yourself. And that's what America is. So, I don't know. You can't really Google this stuff. But I think in about a year or so, I think everybody will know something better than Google. Yeah. Because you know how they always have a hotline where you have to call somebody? Well, how is it that, you know, school isn't on that hotline? We should make a hotline for school. Just so like, be like, I need help on my homework or something. I don't know, it could be any question. Like asking for directions or something. Or like, or what do I like, you know, like something better than Google. Or like, I forgot my PIN, or can you send me my last year's tax returns? You You know, how stupid is this country? But it's true. So, that's why I said, how is it that you don't know me already? I want to go to school. You know? And I said to the IRS, I said, how is it you don't know my bank information and I can't change it? So anyway, there's a lot of countries in this country, and so many politics, but all you have to do is have a phone number that everybody knows about, if you think about it. And that phone number doesn't even need a business card, doesn't even need a company, but it's just like, you know, when you look on the wall and you see a phone number, it should be just like that. Everybody should know about the phone number. And that's the only way I could tell you that, you know, next year would be better than Google. Because then you can ask any question.